The following is a feature presentation of SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network.
It has been a decade since the Indianapolis Colts were division champions. The last time they won this division, they went to the AFC Championship game with some good coaching, some great leadership, and a little bit of luck. And now, they're hoping that this time they can get even further. But to do that, they got to go through a very tough team in the form of the Cleveland Browns. Welcome everybody to the third of our Wild Card Weekend games here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. Hello everybody, I am your host and broadcaster, Joe. What a season it has been for Indianapolis and their fans. They started off doing really well, and since then it's a bit rocky, but they managed to come out on top and win the AFC South. Not a very easy feat to have to do when you had the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans in the same division breathing down your neck. Colts starting off at 5-0, slipped a little bit, but managed to finish off the season strong with a 3-game winning streak, and now they're in the playoffs. And their opponent knows all about how a rough season can go. The Cleveland Browns. They started off in a very similar position. They started out 6-0, lost to a fellow undefeated team, and they had a bit of an up and down season. Some wins here, a couple of big losses there that really could have hurt them if it weren't for the fact that they had started out well enough and did well enough that they were comfortably in a playoff spot. So now the Cleveland Browns get to be in the playoffs once again. But they have a tough game ahead of them. Both of these teams are in some very, very dire situations when it comes to how they have gone altogether. The Cleveland Browns have never been to the Super Bowl. They're hoping this year might be different. The Colts haven't been to the Super Bowl since 2009 and haven't won it since 2006. And maybe, just maybe, this might be the year they can get that chance. We've got a very interesting matchup here with the way these two teams have been all season long. Both of these teams have done pretty well in terms of points scoring and points allowed. That has not been the problem. Where things get a little bit into the issue is when you take a look at their overall offenses, where neither one of them is doing all that well. And when it comes to passing offense, the Colts are the worst in the league. Although, in terms of yardage with running, the Colts are the best in the league. So that is definitely something we're going to have to look out for. Jonathan Taylor has been a big threat. But overall, these two teams have been pretty decent when it comes to all things football. They've usually been at or around the top 10 in every category. So it's going to be interesting seeing how things go. Although on defense, I'm very interested to see how this top 10 Browns defense is going to this top 10 Browns rushing defense can handle when Anthony Richardson scrambles, since the Colts are going to be without Jonathan Taylor due to an injury he sustained last week in the game against the Jaguars. And meanwhile, this top 10 passing defense from the Colts, we'll see how well they can stop Deshaun Watson and some of the other Browns players like Jerry Jeudy and just see what they can do. You can't really judge how things are going to go by stats alone. You gotta play the games. And really, what better way to have us get into our break before we come back to Lucas Oil Stadium down in Indianapolis for the start of our third wildcard game. And here we are in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Browns will call heads. It is indeed heads. So the Browns will elect to return this ball. So Matt Gay going to kick it off, and Pierre Strong Jr. will be back to return this. We got our second wildcard game for the AFC. We'll find out how the divisional round will go after this one. Strong going to get to the 24. Let's take a look at that Cleveland Browns starting offense. Deshaun Watson in his third year as the Browns quarterback. He's been in this league for 8 years. Some controversy behind him, but playoff wins can help to fix that, hopefully. Pierre Strong Jr. coming in to replace the injured Jerome Ford. He's in his third year with the league. Elijah Moore, Amari Cooper, and Jerry Jeudy are the wide receiving core for Cleveland. Meanwhile, David Njoku, the tight end, is lining up on the offensive line alongside Ethan Pokic, Joel Bentonio, Wyatt Teller, Jedrick Wills Jr., and Jack Conklin. Kevin Stefanski in his fifth year as the Browns head coach, and the offensive coordinator is Ken Dorsey. First and 10 for the Browns, men in motion. Watson going to hand this off to Strong, and he's going to run along the far side, fighting for some extra yardage, but down at the 39-yard line for Cleveland. First and 10 yet again. Watson going to hand it off to Strong Jr., and he's going to run along the near side now, but only going to get about 3. Let's take a look at the Indianapolis Colts starting defense. Rookie Laiatu Latu out of UCLA is lining up on the defensive line alongside Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner. EJ Speed, Kenny Moore II, Zaire Franklin, and Kwity Paye are the linebackers. Those are some very dangerous names, as well as the ones that are on the defensive line. Jalen Jones and Juju Brents are the corners for the Colts. And at the safety positions, you've got Nick Cross and Julian Blackman. Gus Bradley, the third-year defensive coordinator for the Colts, and special teams coordinator is Brian Mason. Second and 7 for Cleveland. Man in motion for Watson. Is he going to get swarmed? Kenny Moore II. I told you that those linebackers could be dangerous. So they're sent back a few yards. Sent back 10. So third and long. Watson going to throw this one deep to his left. A leaping Jerry Jeudy in Indianapolis territory gets him down around the 32. So first and 10 for Cleveland starts there. Watson looking and throwing once again to his left. Going for a deep bomb for Jerry Jeudy, who's wide open, and he's got the touchdown. The Browns strike first. And what a game it has been for Cleveland. And what a way for Cleveland to start this game. Kick on the way is up and good. So Dustin Hopkins will kick it off for Anthony Gould, the rookie out of Oregon State. And he'll be taking this bat of his own end zone from about 2 or 3 yards deep, and only gets up to the 12. Let's take a look at that Indianapolis Colts starting offense. Anthony Richardson, in his second year out of Florida, has led the Colts to a playoff berth and an AFC South championship. It's going to be very interesting watching him and C.J. Stroud over the course of the next few years in the AFC South, alongside Trevor Lawrence. Trey Sermon coming in to replace the injured Jonathan Taylor. You might remember Taylor got injured in the game against the Jaguars last week. Josh Downs, Michael Pittman Jr., and rookie Adonai Mitchell out of Texas are the wide receivers for the Colts. Kylan Granson, the tight end, is lining up on the line alongside Ryan Kelly, Quentin Nelson, Will Freeze, Bernard Raymond, and Braden Smith. Shane Steichen, the second-year head coach for the Indianapolis Colts, and the offense coordinator is Jim Bob Cooter. First and 10 for Indy. Richardson going to toss this one for Sermon. He's going to run along the far side, avoiding potential tackles, but only gets about 5. Let's take a look at that Cleveland Browns starting defense. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year in his 8th year with Cleveland. He's lining up on the defensive line alongside Dalvin Tomlinson and Shelby Harris. At the linebacker positions are Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Greg Newsome II, Jordan Hicks, and Zadarius Smith. Martin Emerson Jr. and Denzel Ward are the corners for Cleveland. Meanwhile, the safeties are Juan Thornhill and Grant Delpit. Jim Schwartz, the second-year defensive coordinator for the Browns, and the special teams coordinator is Ray Ventrone. 2nd and 5 for Indy. Richardson going to hand this off to Sermon. Sermon doing pretty good to try and replace Jonathan Taylor as he gets taken down around the 25 of the Colts. 1st and 10 for Indianapolis. Richardson dropping back. Gonna throw this one for Michael Pittman Jr. He's got him at the 39. Got wrapped up, but he did get it in coverage. So 1st and 10 for the Colts. Richardson gonna throw this out of bounds. Looks like it was for Michael Pittman Jr. who just couldn't quite get there. Richardson looking. Gonna throw this one over through the middle for Kylan Granson, but incomplete. So 3rd and 10. Richardson dropping back, gonna try and run forward with it, and he fumbles it, strip sacked, and it gets picked up by someone on Cleveland. I couldn't quite tell who it was, but great job by the Browns defense there to get to Anthony Richardson. Watson gonna try and look and throw to his right for Amari Cooper, who's in the end zone almost. Incomplete. Looks like he overthrew him a little under pressure there. 2nd and 10, a handoff for Strong, and Strong going to run along the near sideline, I apologize. Gets to a gain of 6. So 3rd and 4. Watson going to hand it off to Strong yet again, and he's got the 1st down and more, as he's going to fumble the ball, but he fumbles it out of bounds after a couple of lucky bounces for him. 1st and 10 Browns. Man in motion in front of Watson. Looking for an open man. Watson gonna throw this to his right for Amari Cooper. It's wide open for yet another Cleveland Browns touchdown. And just like that, the Browns up by 2 scores. Indy yet to score. But things can still change. Hopkins' kick on the way is good. So 14-0 is the score here. And Gould will be back to return this. He'll take it from about a yard deep in his own end zone. Getting up to the 10. Now to the 15, 20. Still going until he's down around the 22. 1st and 10. Man in motion for Richardson. Dropping back. Looking for somebody wide open. Gonna throw it over the middle for a diving Michael Pittman Jr., who gets it a good field position. Still in Indy territory, but gets him to the 46. Richardson dropping back. Looking for somebody open. Gonna throw it to his left. Michael Pittman Jr. leaps up to grab it alongside a nearly contested Browns player. But he got the 1st down in Cleveland territory. 1st and 10. Richardson with the handoff to Sermon. Sermon running along the far side. Still going before he's down around the 25-yard line. So gained about 12 on that one. 1st and 10 yet again for the Colts. Toss for Sermon. Gonna run along the far side yet again and down around the 20. 2nd and 5. Colts in the red zone now. Richardson looking for somebody. Gonna try and run forward with it. Running into alignment before Shelby Harris finally tracks him down and sacks him. So it's 3rd and 8 on the loss of 3 there. Richardson running out of time. Shelby Harris with another sack. Back-to-back sacks from him. So they got to go with the field goal following the 8-yard loss. This will be a 48-yarder looks like, and it's good. So the Colts do get onto the board 14-3. Gale kick it off. Strong back to return. He'll take it from about the 4-yard line. Gonna get up to the 15-20. And that's where he'll be stopped, is the 20. So 1st and 10 with 19 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. Motion for Cleveland. Watson, play action, rolling to his left. Gonna throw this over the middle for Amari Cooper. Technically to his right, but he was at the middle of the field as Cooper going to get to the 48, and that's where we're gonna end the 1st quarter. 14-3 is the current score right now. Watson going to hand this off to Strong, who's running along the far side and down after a gain of 6, but he is in Indy territory. Not that he needed much to get into Colts territory. Watson hands it off to Strong. Strong going to get the 1st down and more. He gets taken down around the 39 of the Colts. 1st and 10 for the Browns. Watson hands it off to Strong, running along the near side, coming back towards the middle, cutting back towards the near side, and he's still going before he's taken down around the Colts 16, possibly 15. First and 10, Cleveland. Watson going to hand this to Strong, and Strong going to get taken down a yard back behind the line of scrimmage. Second and 11, shotgun formation for Cleveland. Watson looking and throwing to his right for Amari Cooper. Touchdown, Browns! And how about that? Cleveland getting onto the board big time right now. They are in total control of this football game. Hopkins' kick on the way is good. Now, the last time the Browns won a playoff game was during the COVID season back in 2020, where they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in a dominating fashion. Gould going to get this up to the 20, 25, and they're hoping to do that here. These two teams both were part of what used to be the NFC before they joined the AFC during the merger. A throw for a screen pass to Sermon, and Sermon going to get about 8 yards on that one. So, 2nd and 2 for the Colts. On their own 33, handoff to Sermon. He's got the first down and more as he runs along to the 40 on the far side. 1st and 10, Indianapolis. Man in motion for Richardson. Gonna toss it to Sermon, though. Sermon running along the far sideline, fighting for extra yardage, and got 5 on it. 2nd and 5. Richardson looking for somebody open. Gonna throw this to his right for Adonai Mitchell. Look at this rookie go! He's into the red zone and still going! Taken down around the 6 or 7 yard line. 1st and goal, Colts. Still looking for the first touchdown of the day. Gonna make it a direct run for Richardson, and he's only gonna get about 2. 2nd and 5 for the Colts. Richardson tosses for Sermon, who's taken out behind the line for a loss of 6. 3rd and goal on the 11. Richardson gonna try and run forward with it. Gets a snap for Downs, who dives for it. Gets the touchdown catch there. Josh Downs, despite being a little bit covered by some orange helmets, manages to get the catch. Anthony Richardson threading the needle, and this kick is good. So we got a 21-10 game. So Pierre Strong Jr. will be back to return this. He'll take it from about the 2. Gets up to the 15, 20. Still going down around the 24. 1st and 10 there for Cleveland. Watson will hand this off to Strong, who gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage for the loss of 4. 2nd and long on the 20. Another handoff to Strong, who's going to run along the far side. Near side, I apologize. And he got about 8. 3rd and 6. Man in motion for Cleveland. Watson handing it off to Strong yet again. And he doesn't get too far. Only got 2 yards on that one. So they're going to punt this one. This will be Corey Bajorquez who will be punting this one. And rookie Anthony Gould will be back to return this one again. He'll take it from the 11. And gets up to the 18 before he fumbles the ball. And it's picked up by Joel Bentonio. And he gets taken down just shy of scoring. So Cleveland's drive not done yet. 1st and goal at the 1. Watson going to give it to Strong Jr., who runs it up the gut for the touchdown. Cleveland dominating control of this game. But we've seen comebacks before here on SVGN, including by the Colts in their game of the week they had against the Titans. 28-10 is the score here. Of course, the Cleveland Browns did a lot better this season than what the Tennessee Titans did, but anything's possible. Gould's going to take this from the 1. Gets up to the 15 and down around the 17-yard line, it looks like. 1st and 10 for Indianapolis. Richardson hands it off to Sermon, who's running along the near side, breaking a tackle. Still going until he gets to about the 22 for the gain of 4. Indy going to call their first timeout with a little over a minute and a half to go in the first half. Richardson going to hand it off to Sermon yet again. And Sermon going to get the first down as he's taken down around the 30. They'll call their second timeout with 1:18 to go. 1st and 10 on the 30-yard line. Richardson in shotgun formation. Looking and throwing for a screen pass for Sermon. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a little bit farther behind it. 2nd and 11, they'll say. Richardson in shotgun formation. Gonna take it himself on a designed run. Richardson can really move if you let him. He gets into Cleveland territory after avoiding a tackle and taken down at the 44 of the Browns. And the Colts gonna call their 3rd and final timeout of the half. First and 10, man in motion for Richardson. Gonna hand it off to Sermon, who's running along the near side. Still going. Gets past the 30, 25, down around the 23. And the Colts not going to take a chance. They're going to go with the field goal with 5 seconds left. This will be a 41-yard attempt by Matt Gay. Kick on the way. It's up, and it's good. And so the Colts will go into halftime only trailing by about 15. But the Browns have a chance of getting something here. Kick about a yard out of their own end zone. And down around the 15. That's where we're going to stop it for now. The Colts trailing the Browns. But fortunately for the Colts, they get the ball back to start the second half. Anything is possible here in Wild Card Weekend. Well, folks, we got one more wild card game left, and that's happening tomorrow. Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions head down to Atlanta, Georgia, to take on Kirk Cousins and the NFC South champion Atlanta Falcons. That's all coming up for you tomorrow. Our final wild card weekend game here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. So the Colts get a chance to try and lessen the deficit they're in. Gould's going to take this from about the 6-yard line. And he'll get up to the 20 and down to the 23. First and 10 for Indianapolis. Man in motion for Richardson. Hands it off to Sermon. Sermon keeps on going down past the 30 to the 32, it looks like. Almost got enough for the first down, but short by a yard. Richardson hands it off to Sermon yet again. This time he does get the first down. He gets to the 40 and down around the 41. So first and 10, that's where this set of downs starts. The 41-yard line for the Colts. Richardson in shotgun formation. Gonna run forward with it wrapped up. Better get out of there. He's in trouble. And he's finally taken down. Shelby Harris has been making Anthony Richardson's day not fun. So Richardson in shotgun formation. Gonna run forward with it. Then looks for Michael Pittman Jr., who dives for it in Cleveland territory. He gets back up and taken down around the 16-yard line. First and 10 for Indy after a disastrous play for them. Richardson going to hand this off to Sermon, and he breaks a few tackles, still going before he's taken down around the 10-yard line. Second and 4. Richardson tosses for Sermon. This time he goes for the far side. And only got about 1 yard line there. Third and 3. Man in motion for Richardson on his right. Hand off for Sermon. He fumbles the ball! And it's picked up by Cleveland! Tomlinson's got it and he's still going as he gets to about the 34. Oh my goodness, this drive was going so well for Indianapolis, and then that happened. Watson going to throw a screen pass for Strong, but he can't quite connect with him. Incomplete. Second and 10. Watson, play action. No, he actually did hand it off to Strong. I thought he was rolling to his right. Gained 4 on that one, though. Third and 6 on the 38. Watson, play action. Rolling to his left. Throwing for Amari Cooper. Incomplete. There were some blue jerseys nearby. You got to be careful there, Deshaun. And so the Browns will punt. Bajorquez is going to punt this from the 29, it looks like. And Gould will take this from about the 4, maybe 5-yard line. He'll break a tackle at the 12, but get taken down at the 13. First and 10 for Indianapolis. Man in motion to Richardson's right. Dropping back. Richardson going to get taken down. Myles Garrett, the Defensive Player of the Year, adds another sack onto his total for the loss of 8. Hand off to Sermon. He's going to run along the far side, but doesn't get very far at all. Third and 17. Richardson's in his own end zone. Got to get this one off. Throw is for Granson. And Granson only going to get about 15. So they're short by 2. So Rigoberto Sanchez coming out for the first punt of the day for him. And this will be Elijah Moore who will take this and get taken down around the 24. First and 10. Cleveland on their own in their own territory. Watson going to hand this off to Strong. Doesn't get very far. Only got 1 yard line. This Colts defense is starting to come through. Second and 9. Watson Plenty of time. Throws to his right for Amari Cooper. Dives for it in Indy territory. He gets back up but is immediately taken down at the Colts 48. But still a first down. Men in motion for Cleveland. Watson going to hand this off to Strong. He's going to get wrapped up before he fumbles the ball. And it's picked up by Indianapolis. I couldn't quite see who it was. But the Colts still have life in them. 1st and 10 with just under 2 minutes to go. Richardson looking for an open man. Throwing to his left for Michael Pittman Jr., who can't quite dive for it far enough. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Richardson running out of time, getting wrapped up. Gotta get out of there. He will not. Delvin Tomlinson there with the 8-yard sack. So it'll be 3rd and long on their own 39. Richardson, gotta get this one off. Throws for Granson, but he can't get a hold of it. Incomplete. So the Colts will be forced to punt. This has been the quarter of the defense, apparently, from both Indianapolis and Cleveland. And we're going to take this from the 1, it looks like. Going to get taken down around the 9. So 1st and 10 Cleveland there with just over half a minute to go. Watson going to hand this off to Strong, but he's going to get taken down 6 yards back. 2nd and 16 on the 4. Watson hands it off to Pierre Strong Jr. He's looking to run somewhere, but doesn't get really anywhere. Got 4 yards, but they need a lot. 3rd and long. Watson looking for an open man. Gonna throw this for Cooper, but he can't connect with him. They got time for one more play in the 3rd quarter, and it's going to be a punt by Bajorquez. He's about a yard deep in his own end zone. And Gould will be back to return. He'll take it from about the 27 of the Colts and gets up to the 35. So we go into the 4th quarter the same way we left the 3rd. We went into the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 for Indianapolis. Richardson looking for somebody. Going to throw it for Josh Downs over the middle. Downs has the 1st down, and he's down at the 46. 1st and 10 for the Colts. Richardson in shotgun formation. Gonna run it himself. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 10. And it was a designed run, so even if he was taken down behind the line, it wouldn't have been a sack. Richardson gotta look for somebody. Gonna throw it to his right for Adonai Mitchell, who dives for it! And he's down at the 24. The Colts need to score, and they need to score quickly. They're down by 15. As Richardson gonna get swarmed by the defense, but it was a designed run. So a loss of 7. Man in motion for Richardson. Gonna hand this off to Sermon, who's taken back 5 yards. 3rd and a mile for the Colts. Richardson, gotta get this off to somebody. So there's a screen pass for Sermon, who's pretty wide open. Got back to where the set of downs started, and a little bit past it, but not enough to be more than a 4th and 10. So they're going for the Matt Gay field goal. This will be about a 41-yarder. Kick on the way by Gay. And it's through. So now the Colts only trail by about 8, it looks like. And they're going to do an onside kick here. And get recovered by Elijah Moore. So 1st and 10 with 6 minutes to go on the 48 of the Browns. Watson in shotgun formation. Defense needs to come through for Indianapolis if they want a chance to win. He throws that one out of bounds. Good idea, because he was getting some pressure on him. 2nd and 10. Hand off to Strong. He's going to run along the near sideline. Still going. And taken down around the Colts 46. Maybe 47. Watson going to hand this off. No! Grover Stewart sniffed that one out! He saw what was happening and he got the sack. So they got to go for the punt. Bajorquez punts. And Gould going to be in his own end zone, so this will be a touchback. 1st and 10 Colts. In shotgun formation. They got to get down the field, score, and then get the ball back. Throw for Michael Pittman Jr. A deep bomb, kind of. I'd say it's deep enough to be a deep bomb. 1st and 10 on the 44. Richardson tosses for Sermon, who's going to run along the far side. Still going until he's down around the 50. 2nd and 4 at midfield. Richardson dropping back, looking for someone. Got to get this one off in time. Throwing to his left for Josh Downs. And he's taken down at the Browns 31 for the 1st down here. Man in motion for Richardson. Got plenty of time right now. Richardson gonna throw it to his right for Adonai Mitchell, who was in the end zone, incomplete. It looked so exciting. 2nd and 10. Richardson going to hand this off to Sermon, but the defense breaks through for the loss of 3. 3rd and 13. Toss for Sermon. Sermon going to run along the far sideline and taken down around the 30, and they're going to go for it on the 4th and 9. Even though a field goal would just mean they'd have to get another touchdown later, as Sermon not going to get far enough, so it's a turnover on downs. So 1st and 10, defense needs to come through big time here for Indianapolis. Strong going to take this along the near side, and he's going to get taken down around the 34. Less than 3 minutes to go, 2nd and 4. Watson going to hand this off to Strong, and Strong going to get the first down. Needed about 4, he got 5. And Colts going to call their first timeout of the half. 1st and 10 with 2:46 to go. Shotgun formation for Watson. Looking for an open David Njoku. And Njoku's got the first down and into Indianapolis territory. Tongue twister there. Into Indianapolis territory. Try saying that 5 times fast. Watson in shotgun formation on this 1st and 10. Gonna try and run forward. Defense gets to him. Zaire Franklin, the sack machine. And that is unfortunate for Cleveland. Not just because of today, if it means the Colts can stop him, but also for next week if they move on. Jameis Winston has to come in for the Browns on offense. 2nd and 13. Winston going to hand this off to Strong. And he's going to get about 2. And the Colts going to call their final timeout of the half. 2:04 to go. Man in motion for Cleveland. Winston going to play action, rolling to his left. Going to throw this one off in time for Jerry Jeudy, and a deep one. Incomplete. Threw it a little too far. So they'll punt. Bajorquez will be taking the punt from about the 42-43. Gould going to be in his own end zone for this one, so it's a touchback. Now is the time you might want to score and score big. Richardson going to hand this one off to Sermon. He's going to break a tackle before he's taken down around the 29. And this is where you have to wonder if maybe those points would have, if they'd taken the points, if they could have gotten something from this. Richardson going to take it himself. He's going to fumble it, but he fumbles it out of bounds. But I don't think there's enough time left on the clock for Indy, even if they got a very quick score here. Richardson going to try and run forward with it, and he's taking it himself, running it up the middle. Gets taken down around the 42. But with half a minute to go, I don't think the Colts are coming out of this one alive. Richardson throws this for Mitchell. It's deflected, incomplete. So it looks like the Cleveland Browns will be moving on in the playoffs. Richardson gonna throw this one for Josh Downs, incomplete. They got time for one more play. They're really just playing for pride, though. 3rd and 10, Richardson dropping back, and he's gonna throw for Michael Pittman Jr. And Jr. going to try and get a score here. Can he score with it? No, he's short. Taken down at the 7. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. The Cleveland Browns come away with the victory 28-16. Congratulations to them. Indianapolis, better luck next year. And so with that victory, the Cleveland Browns will be moving on to play the Cincinnati Bengals. For the 3rd time this season, we'll have Browns and Bengals broadcasted to you. That'll be happening next week on Sunday. And meanwhile, the Ravens, with their victory over the Jets earlier on in the weekend, they'll be taking on Kansas City next Friday. And yet, we've still got one more wildcard game to go. So that's going to do it for us here today. A reminder to tune in tomorrow for our final wildcard game between the Detroit Lions and the Atlanta Falcons to determine who's moving on in the NFC. And of course, make sure to come back here next weekend for the divisional round of the playoffs. For all of us here at SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network, I'm your host, Joe, saying good night, everybody!